But we got to start with what was a occurring theme in 2025 that I don't think Auburn fans wanted to carry into 2026. But it's the third time I can remember that I have written on my topic sheet just in September. Controversial Auburn loss. Oklahoma in football, Georgia in football, and now last night in basketball. And I'm amazed at people who I think would know the answer don't really know. Is it collaborative replay like it is in football for basketball? We are still asking questions. I know they're on the headset, the referees. It was called a basket on the floor. Watching the replays, I don't see how you can overturn it, but they do overturn it. If you missed it last night, buzzer beater for Auburn with 0.6 on the clock. Bucky McMillan thinks they shouldn't have had 0.6 on the clock. Regardless, they get a shot off. They hit it virtually half court to walk it off with a win. Long review, then they wave it off. You see the Texas A&M celebration there then. So multiple different celebrations at different times on the floor. You watch that replay 1,000 times, and you can't tell me whether he got it off or he didn't get it off. How do you overturn that?
Well, I think it was still in his hand, but it is very, very difficult to overturn. Here's a bigger problem, and I don't know if you guys have talked about this before I got in here this morning, is the clocks weren't synced.
Oh, no, there's at least two different clocks.
Yeah, so like when you see Keyshawn Murphy, when you let it go from the side angle, so
the ribbon board.
Yeah. So to me, like the clock behind the basket probably didn't get it off, but there is 0.1.
Yeah.
Right there. But we'll go by the official red light.
The official.
Yeah, but how do you not have the clock synced up?
No, I agree 100% with you on that. And I was because I had to.
That's what's so weird when you see the still shot of him.
Yeah.
Red lights going off where the ball is either still on fingertips or off, but on the side clock you got 0.1 on.
So Saturday, I had to explain this to my wife when it was what I thought was going to be Auburn's craziest regulation finish of the season Saturday at Georgia until this happened. And I was explaining to my wife, I'm like, they're not looking at the clock, they're looking at the red light. That is the clock can say 15 minutes. If the red light shows, it doesn't count. It doesn't matter. I'm with Lance. Like, I watch one angle of the replay, I think it might still be in his hands. I watch another one, I think it's out of his hands when the red light. But if you notice, Lance used it and I used the words, I think.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I think.
Like, we always talk about you've got to have irrefutable evidence when we talk about calls that go to review in the NFL and college football. Like, I don't know how you turn that over, especially in front of that crowd.
Yeah, by the way,
I wouldn't have the balls to do it.
Speaking of,
they'd be like, it was no basket. I'd be like, you're going to tell them.
We got the basket.
You make the announcement after we get to the locker room. I couldn't tell if the free throw hit the rim or not.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't think it did.
Yeah,
I don't either, but I don't think.
Yeah, right.
I don't think it did.
Yeah, and then they let it play, but then they stop it at an odd time.
No sense.
Why not let it play all the way out and then stop it and review it?
Okay.
But if it hits the rim, it's got to move a little bit. Like, I didn't see
kind
any.
of looked like it kind of looked like it did.
I just didn't see
any movement. Do you think it hit it going to the backboard or coming back?
Coming off.
It would have to hit it coming off.
I don't think it hit it at all.
I thought it grazed it going in and then missed it coming off.
I think if it hit it, I thought it hit it coming off on the side of the rim because it looked like the ball changed direction just ever so slightly.
And then how the hell do you come up with 0.6 and put it right there on that side?
Yeah, this will be the beginning of, we got the pylon cams now where everything is so specific. We're going to see like cameras on the side of the backboard that angle down to the rim.
I know.
Well, they do have that backboard camera, but you can't tell if it hits the rim coming off because he threw it so hard into it.
Yeah.
It shook it so bad you couldn't tell if it hit it or didn't hit it.
Can we completely rewind just to Bucky's strategy there? How did you feel about the strategy to begin with?
I probably try to make it.
I think so too because you're up 3.
Well, he said post-game, and we'll get to some post-game here. Stephen Pearl delayed post-game as he was working through not really as much emotions as a phone call with the SEC offices, which, by the way, just make a hotline from Auburn. to the SEC offices at this point. Make it
pick
like
it right
the
up.
red phone. Just make it the red phone in the White House. If you pick it up, it's Greg Sankey
It's
on the other
like
end.
Clay said on Twitter, no school in all of athletics has crazier finishes than Auburn.
Yeah.
They really don't. I mean, Auburn has crazy in every sport.
And all I'm saying is, in the day and age where we have the best technology in television history, the replay of Jackson Arnold touchdown and last night's shot getting off is the blurriest video I've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, they might as well be
It's
walking on the
Bigfoot.
moon in 1969.
Yep, it's Bigfoot, Zapruder film,
Yeah.
all those things.
I mean, I could see him walking on the moon in
I know.
1969 better than I could see whether he got that shot off or whether Arnold crossed the line or not.
But back to your strategy, like you are up 2. If you miss, you've accomplished what you wanted to. But if you make, really, what are the chances they're going to hit a 3 from 80 feet?
Or you can foul right away if you want to and let them shoot 2 free throws and play defense, inbound it again.
What I was thinking was, why not shoot like a high arching ball to where if it hits the rim, it bounces really high.
But you got to make sure you hit the rim. That's
it.
the problem.
Well,
Maybe it goes in.
Well, that's the whole thing. Like if your only hope, like Auburn at Georgia, they had to miss, get the rebound, and make a shot. But to Lance's point, that was one of those where if you hit it, you're okay because you're up 3 now, and they've got to inbound and go length of
In
the
worst
court.
case, a miracle takes you to overtime.
Yeah. If you miss, you've accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. It's a totally different. So I'm with Lance.
That is so much more difficult than making a free throw is trying to hit the rim and miss a free throw.
Which is crazy to think about. Yeah. It's easier to make one than miss one.
But it's
and
almost
hit
like
the rim.
telling a field goal kicker, I need you to hit the upright.
Yeah.
But with 9,000 fans at Neville Arena, I could not guarantee that I would make a free throw.
We saw that.
I feel like I could hit a rim.
Oh, no.
It's so hard.
No,
Jim.
it would be easier for you to make a free throw than hit a rim.
Do you know how small that rim
Now,
is?
if you're shooting to make the free throw, then
shooting
yeah,
to
you
make
will.
the free throw,
Okay, then you will hit the rim.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you're just trying to hit the rim without making the free throw, that's
You're
what I'm
either-
saying.
you're either gonna airball it or make it.
Like I can think I
Yeah.
can get it there to where it's not going to be an air ball, right? If I'm trying to make it, I may leave it short. But if I know I've either got to make it or at least hit the rim,
Right.
I think
Okay.
I can at least hit the rim.
So that's Bucky's strategy. The next part of this is refs don't know if it hit the rim or not. Do you not just let that play out
All the way.
Yeah.
and then go back to review
Yes.
and then wipe whatever happened?
That's right.
You wipe it off, which could be super controversial because Auburn could hit what they think's a game-winning 3, but then you have to go back and wipe it and say, nope, ball didn't hit the rim. Auburn's got to inbound and go length of the court again.
But I think that's even better for Texas A&M because it'll
I
be
agree.
ball out on the baseline.
That's right.
With 2.6, I think, at that point.
Which is the same thing if you make the free throw, by the way, but
Yeah.
now you're only up 2.
But over here, it's almost mid-court, 0.6. How you put it there, I
And
mean,
how you got to 0.6, I don't know. That's what Bucky was talking about at the end of the game. So you got that. I don't understand how you stop it mid-play. That's what I don't understand.
either.
Is how, and I think Pearl was pissed about that. I think Pearl and Bucky were both pissed
oh,
about
yeah.
that one, both
Yeah.
of them.
Bucky was like, what are we doing?
And Pearl's
this
like,
is my
man,
whole strategy, and now you're
I know.
stopping it?
Now you're going to let them inbound it and set a play?
Yeah.
And then we've talked about the ending. I don't know how you wipe that off.
It's again, I don't think he got it off.
I don't
but
either,
I
but
don't wipe it off. And I don't know if you guys stayed around for Bucky's post game and he couldn't hear.
There's the other part.
Yeah.
Bucky said like shooter on Hoosiers.
Oh.
Because he couldn't hear.
Yeah,
Because he's getting
Yeah,
feedback
he was
and
getting
can't
himself
hear.
back to him. I don't know what happened.
Okay,
there.
let's get the reaction because
That
we
was
got
so
everything
amazing.
here. And just for backstory, Forrester, give me Forrester's microphone. I
don't want to talk about it.
Thank you. I couldn't go to sleep. I mean,
I
was
struggled too as well. I kept watching replays.
I was so amped
Yeah.
up. I watched the entire Ron. I'm DMing. I mean, hats off Ron Slay, DMing me back during his show as I'm watching him live.
The Slay ride.
When they would go to Doring talking football, Slay would be hitting me back up. He's like, "Keep watching. We're about to show the clocks aren't in sync." That was the first time I heard it. I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm back off SportsCenter. I'm back on SEC Network. Slay's telling me the clocks aren't in sync."
I haven't seen that. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it happens and it never comes down to something like this. You don't know
I
it.
guess you wouldn't consider that an official clock. That's for the fans, right? The only official clocks are top of the backboard.
Yeah, but how are they not synced up?
Well, I mean,
I never look at that clock.
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
don't
at the one
either.
above the
Yeah.
rim when I'm at
Yeah.
Neville.
Well, it's such a bad look. That'll be one of those. It's probably all over social media now.
Oh, I'll go ahead and tell you before I ask you my question, but I'll let you react live on the microphone to this. 8 o'clock, right? 8 o'clock tip. Usually I go, even if I'm playing golf like I was yesterday, we finish right before 5. last year, 100% I'd have been at that game. I had a media credential I could have gone. My buddy Johnny Orr, who's got season tickets, said, hey, I got one ticket left. You want to go to the game with us? He had opted out of golf, and you want to go to the game with us after you finish with golf? Come on down. And I literally said, if I thought this was going to be a closer game, I would come down. But I think you guys will run them out of the gym.
I did have Auburn -7 last night.
Yeah, you had Auburn -7 too?
Yeah. I mean, I really did.
What a weird game.
I thought Auburn would. Auburn led by 14.
Have you watched this Auburn team play?
Yeah.
16 at home, and that game's over.
In the second half. That's not a first half 16-point. That's a second half 16-point
led
lead.
by 16.
Yeah.
And then 7 minutes later, they're down double digits.
Yeah, there was an 11-0 run in 57 seconds.
Yeah, I've never seen that big of a lead disappear that fast.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I literally said, I would love to come, Johnny, spend time with you guys. We'd get a good meal, talk about my round of golf. We'd do all that, go to the game. Or I could go credential, and you can give the ticket to someone else. But y'all are going to run them out of the gym. I'm not going to drive down there and be back home at midnight to see you guys win by 30. And he goes, I hope so. Steven needs this win. Bad loss.
And you wouldn't have made it back by midnight.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'd still be sitting there waiting for Steven's postgame. John Cohen is on the court talking with Steven. They talked to the SEC office last night. Eventually, I think you watched the whole news conference. I think he came in and said a couple of times, listen, I don't have all the answers for you guys.
Gathering information.
I didn't want you guys to wait any longer.
Yep.
The media waited a long time for Steven, right?
They did. Yeah, and his words were gathering information.
Do you know I hate to ask this question like this, but do you know the lady he was showing the iPad to? Who is she?
Yeah.
Why did he ran over and showed it to a ref first?
I bet it was the point one.
Well, but who's the lady?
I don't know.
Like, this poor lady seemed like she was just standing on the court, and Steven runs up to her and starts showing her the iPad. She must have some sort of seat of power, but I don't know who this lady is.
Yeah, he couldn't be a fan.
I think
he's not just some random person.
I think she is an Auburn.
She's like their faculty representative or something.
I think she's like John Cohen, that next level of athletic department.
So it's the closest high power person he could find.
I think so.
Okay, I'll see if I can find out, because I was curious about that, because Steven was running around showing the iPad to anybody that mattered, and then.
And by the way, if you show an iPad to a football official, they go bonkers.
Oh, it's a penalty.
Yeah,
it's unsportsmanlike.
They go bonkers. You had that last night. Nate Oates. The ref snatched it out of Nate Oates' hand on Saturday. I wasn't rolling to get it because Nate was showing his iPad to a different official, and the veteran official, I don't know his name, but he does a lot of the big games, walked all the way from under the basket cross court and snatched it out of Nate's hand and walked it over to the Alabama bench and tossed it to a guy.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So they don't like that iPad.
I
Man.
don't know. I don't know about the snatching. What happens if Nate pushes him down?
Nate would get in trouble.
It's probably going to be an issue.
Yeah.
Didn't Notre Dame's coach almost try that the other day?
He wanted to. He wanted to break a neck.
Yeah.
I've got the answer from the SEC. Official answer from the SEC. SEC basketball replay is collaborative, just like football.
Okay.
So when they've got the headsets on, they're talking to Birmingham.
So somebody is there also looking on the screen.
Centralized replay center in Birmingham. So that's who ultimately collaborated to make this call.
Hal Auburn was even in the spot two ways. I mean, up 16 with 13 and a half to go. That game is over in Neville. Yep. And then when Ruben Dominguez hits the three with basically a minute left to put them up 8, how in the hell does Auburn get back with a minute left down 8?
Yeah, that's exactly right. 90-82 with a minute left. And then it goes all the way to 45 seconds, I think, when they make it 90-84. I mean, how many times do you even get a chance to walk it off at that situation?
By the way, as good as Janai was, I mean, Keyshawn is right there.
Yeah.
That guy's a freaking stud.
Janai brought a lot on the defensive side that Auburn is missing inside.
They're not a good defensive team.
Yeah,
no, they're not.
Especially around the rim, my opinion. We all consider, I think, I don't want to speak for y'all, but Stephen Pearl, we like him a lot. Consider him a friend.
Steven's
right?
a friend, yes.
Yeah.
Hard loss last night. 0-2 in the SEC.
2 hard losses.
Yeah. And I tried to write him a text, and then erased it. Tried to write him a text. I mean, now I knew he was up, and now it's 12:30 in the morning. Tried to write him a text.
Oh, he didn't sleep last night.
Didn't send it. I tried to I couldn't. There was no way I could say anything that was.
Yeah, it's probably smart.
Yeah. I don't think he wanted to hear from
I
you.
wrote one that said, sorry, da-da-da-da, and I said, hey, by the way, is it collaborative replay? Because nobody else knew the answer.
Right.
Yeah, and finally, we got the answer.
Yeah,
I mean,
from the SEC. That's
I cannot
from the
tell
SEC.
you how many people I asked that I thought would know the
I mean,
answer.
we're a collaborative team right here, and we can't figure it out.
That's a good point.
Like, I mean, seriously, like I don't know what you would do in that situation.
Well, you let the call stand. Whatever the call was, got to stand.
And that's what I even asked again today. They did call it good on the court, right? And they did. And I don't understand it. But here's Stephen Pearl from last night. Maybe he's got clearer information here when he's asked about the call with the SEC after the game.
Coach, Sports Information came in and said you guys were on the call with the SEC. Can you walk us through the explanation of that final sequence there and what they told you about the clock?
I don't have a clear understanding still, so I still got to gather more information and get an understanding as far as what their determination was. I don't want to keep you guys waiting much longer, so I don't have a clear understanding of what their reasoning behind what they were going off of, and so we're going to gather more information and hopefully we can kind of elaborate on it. But just from the angles that I saw, it looked like the ball was out of his hands on the red light on the scoreboard that we were looking at, but I would imagine that they had a different angle that they were looking at to determine that the ball wasn't out of his hands.
Now, there is a still photo.
Got to be careful with these.
That's exactly right. But there is a still photo that I think Justin Ferguson sent out on his social media that looks like it's still in his hands. It's from a down low camera on the baseline. But again,
everything you say looks like, or I think.
That's right. That's
God,
right.
boy, and he needed that. Like, I mean, it's a long season.
Yeah.
But, the 5 losses to top 25 teams, and then you get that kind of loss. And
I know Georgia was ranked when Auburn played them, but you're going to play a lot better teams in this league than Georgia and Texas A&M.
You got Arkansas on deck. Number 15 Arkansas.
Pretty hot right now.
Yeah, and idiots like me really thought, and there's the Justin Ferguson picture there.
So you say that looks like it's in his hand?
Well, Brown, I'm just parroting what Justin Ferguson said in his tweet.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I do think that's in his hand, though.
I guess.
I guess in his hand is
It's
still
touchy.
in contact with your fingers.
I mean, could you fit a gnat between his fingertip and the basketball?
I don't think so. Again, I'm using the word think a lot here, and we're only assuming. We're only assuming that.
But I agree with you
Hey.
guys. If you call it
Yeah.
a made basket on the floor, I think you probably got to keep that.
And here's the thing. The assumption in this photo is that the red lights are synced up, because that's not the red light that they would be going by right there.
Hey, just
See what I'm saying?
There's a lot of empty seats.
I was about
people-
to say
yeah.
that. Hey, for those people that left, I know it's 70,000 straight sellouts and stuff. Did they leave when they were up 16?
Oh, they were showing them heading
Yeah.
to the exits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or when they were up 16, or did they leave when they were down 10?
It was when they were down 10. They were showing people packing it in.
Okay.
That's
All
a long
right.
drive back to Birmingham.
I'd have been out 16 up.
Oh, I know you would. You might not have seen the second half.
I didn't go because I thought they were going to win.
I mean,
Go give me that picture again, Forster. You're in the old local TV industry. That white line across there tells me that's not a still photo. That looks like a frozen video shot. Doesn't
Yeah,
it?
that's definitely from video, which that's why his hand
Is
and
blurry.
the ball are
Well,
blurry.
Look like my
Which-
outdoor TV for a minute.
yeah.
Which again, you can't judge anything off of this.
You can't. But, Scott, if that's from frozen video, well, I'm not going to make assumptions here.
Oh, this is definitely off of video.
No. My assumption was going to be, if Justin is sending it out, someone at Auburn froze the video and said, hey, look, this ball was out of his hand. But
it's
I
not out of his
don't.
hand.
No, that does not show that. But nor does it show that it's in his hand.
Right. It doesn't show either way.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it shows.
It's a blur of motion is
Yeah.
what that is. Yeah.
But there again, we're only assuming the red lights are synced up too. Based on the other clocks, those might not even be properly synced. You know.
I don't think it comes down to this for Auburn. I think they're a good team and they get it right. But if they are borderline on the bubble,
if the
I'm not counting this as a loss.
If the selection committee says
It's not a loss or a win.
we would like to have seen one more conference win out of Auburn. If
Yeah.
that's what the selection
Can you
committee
imagine
says,
that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of which, here's Steven on the emotional swing of not just being up 16 and then down 10, but also thinking you've just walked it off and on a remarkable 0.6 buzzer beater 3-pointer to win by 1, to then getting it waved off. Stephen, afterwards, heartbreaking.
Stephen, just that final 0.6 seconds there, just the emotional swing of seeing it go through. The arena erupts. It's chaos. It's pandemonium. Then they go to the scores table. They rule it off. I'm interested in that moment, what the officials say to you and what your line of communication is in that moment.
Yeah, there was zero communication. So, they didn't say a word. They just said it was no good and ran off the floor. So I probably wouldn't want to talk to me in that moment anyway. So I get why they'd run away from me. Yeah, I mean, just from the angles that I saw, it looked like it was off his fingers, but that was just, I don't have all the same angles they have. So I'm just looking at an iPad, and it looks like on the clock it says 0.2, but obviously like that. So I was like on the floor, I'm like, shit, we just won the game. Like, oh, wow. So to go from that to, obviously the crowd sees it on the big Jumbotron. They think it's good. And, everyone thinks that the game's over. And I'm just trying to sit there and be like, just hold on. You just never know. And, sure enough, they made a decision that, it was, I don't know, it was on his fingertips. So, yeah, it's devastating.
So when he said 0.2, he's talking about the ribbon board clock that was out of sync, because the scoreboard clock, the one over the basket, did say 0.0. I mean, it was accurate.
It was synced up with the light.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. He's talking about the one we were referencing and Slay was referencing that is basically for the fans, that is out of sync.
So, and he's talking about what he was looking at on the iPad and the one he was showing the officials there.
And the lady we don't know.
Stephen will tell you, coaching-wise, they should have never been in that situation. But he handled that really well.
Oh, I agree. I was going to bring this up. Last week talking to a bunch of Indiana fans, and Bobby Knight came up in a lot of our conversations. No, can you imagine, what you just said with Nate Oates getting that ripped out of his hand? Bobby Knight or Bob Huggins in the Stephen Pearl situation last night, or the Nate Oates situation that you talked about? I
mean, this was more controversial than the Notre Dame Cal situation, and Micah Shrewsbury lost his freaking mind.
Yes.
He had to be held back. I don't know what he was going to do if he got to those refs.
I think it'll cost him his job at the
Shrewsbury?
end of the year. Yeah.
He didn't even get suspended. All he had to do was apologize.
Yeah. Notre Dame had a hard time with Brian Kelly's actions on the sideline.
That was a bad look.
They let Kelly coach a long, long time.
That was a terrible look. But, but to your point, if that had happened to Shrewsbury, because Stephen didn't really have to chase the officials. They were right there at the scores table. Shrewsbury still had to chase the officials down.
Do you not believe, though, a guy like Bobby Knight intimidates so much that they wouldn't have waved that basket off?
Depends on which side of the arena they exit. If they had to walk past where Bobby was.
I know it sounds silly, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Do they get a 10-yard head start?
That's a call you would make against Nick Saban.
No, I give up. Troy says Bob Knight would have been arrested last night.
Yeah,
I kind of agree. Yeah. That's what Forrester said. Forrester said if I'm coaching out, I had to leave that arena in handcuffs. Scott, you would have violated a law.
You bust your ass so hard to play 2 games a week.
Yeah.
And the 2 games that they've played this week, my gosh.
I know.
And look, he's a new coach, and Auburn fans they understand the situation. And I don't think Bruce left him the greatest team of all time. There are some good players, but Stevens having to bust his butt to fit them together.
Yeah, I don't know how different the record would be right now.
Oh, I don't think it'd be different at all. You
think Auburn's 0-2 with Bruce Pearl as the coach?
I do. With this roster, I think Stevens having to bust his butt to take some good players with one returning player and try to piece them together to where they're going to be really good at the end. And they've had good moments. They were ball in hand to beat Houston, who's good.
I told y'all Houston would compete for a 1 seed. Y'all scoffed at me, but they're hanging in there.
But Stephen wants to, Stephen needs some wins to win over what should be a very patient fan base. He needed that win last night.
He did.
Bucky McMillan now 2-0 in the SEC. And listen, Bucky's does a wonderful job, and I'm going to say all the nice things I got to say about Bucky right here because he's a local guy and everything. But that's a hard product to watch last night. And I know he doesn't have his players there yet. Yeah. He's just pieced this thing together, and he's 2-0 in the SEC. It's pretty amazing, but that's a hard to watch the way they play.
But man, when it comes together, you see it in the spurts, and when he does get the right talent in there, my gosh.
Oh, I mean, he's basically got a pickup team.
What do you
right
got?
now.
The little bitty guard that lit him up from North Alabama.
Yeah, the kid that they've got inbounding. I mean, Kyler Murray is taller than him.
They said it on the broadcast. He's the smallest inbounder in America.
Yeah.
Like in the nation. I don't know if that's an actual stat or if they were just kidding, but they said it like it's an actual stat. Like nobody inbounds smaller than this guy.
Didn't he put 42 on Sanford last year?
Perhaps.
Yeah, I think he's the kid from North Alabama.
Yeah, that Bucky liked, obviously, what he saw him.
So I know Bucky, this is his roster. This will be the worst roster he ever has at Texas A&M. I mean, they had to throw this together. And that's Bucky ball. It's chaotic, right? It's 40 minutes of hell.
So
whatever
you don't
put
like
name on.
that style, or you just don't like this version of that style?
I'm just saying this version of last night watching it.
I like that
I like
style.
the style,
I like
yeah.
the full press, shooting a ton of threes.
I mean, they got a ton of turnovers, especially right out of the chute. Auburn had 5 turnovers, I think, before the first media timeout.
I'm just saying that their guys that are doing the shooting are not the smoothest, purest looking shots. I mean, they were going in.
Once he taps into that oil money.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Once those guys are like, damn, this guy can coach.
Yeah, and I like this style. It's fun. Now Bucky's post game, he's gonna have to he's gonna have to work it a little bit. I don't understand this comment that we're about to play for you here. I think he's saying that I don't think he's admitting that they got it off and it was just close enough that they needed to make a makeup call. But I think that's what he's saying here, that it was a makeup call.
Yeah,
right?
I thought he was saying that, and then when I heard it again, I was thinking that he thought.
I've only seen it in print. I've not heard it.
I think it is definitely a makeup call based on the ball should have hit the rim.
Yeah, okay. Listen to it, and you tell us if you think Bucky basically saying, okay, maybe he got it off, but they owed us one. Here's Bucky McMillan afterwards.
Your thoughts on the final few seconds of that game?
Yeah, I mean, the game's over if there's not a clock malfunction. They have no timeouts. So, at home we may consider making that, but with the continuation rules in college basketball, you cannot foul under 5 seconds. You can't foul under 5 seconds now because there's continuation. So if we go up 3 and we foul, we can't do it. So they're going to get a half-court heave off. They're going to get a better heave off if they can throw it in on a baseline out of bounds, right? And you got to ask yourself, in that game, the way that was going, did y'all think we had an advantage or they had an advantage in overtime? So that's got to get corrected right there, just with what happened at the clock, because if we thought there was any way for the game to be stopped with a review or with the clock went too early, which is what they were saying, that's the only way for the game to be stopped. It's the only way we could lose the game pretty much, unless they're going to make a 75-footer. And so anyway, we didn't cover the last play well. We should have been tighter. We were trying not to foul, but maybe we covered it really well. There wasn't enough time to get it off, so maybe that's the best thing you can do. But I thought the officials in the situation, I think they knew the situation, that if it was close, it had to go our way based on what had just transpired the play before.
I mean, yeah. He was, by the way, you can't argue with anything he said up until that last quote, which is what we're focused on here. But it sounds like he said the officials went to the monitor thinking we've screwed A&M out of this loss, so we need to find a way out of it. That's what that sounded like to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what you guys heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
what that sounded like.
I think that is the Webster definition of a makeup call.
I still disagree with the strategy, though. I think you make it.
Well, continuation's always been a dumb rule to me.
Well, look, you obviously don't foul, but you get a guy guarding baseline and you make it a difficult inbound.
And it's a big deal now in college basketball because it is like the NBA.
No, everybody, right when they get it in those situations, they're heaving.
I've never understood that.
And I saw a couple when I was at the Bama game on Saturday that, I mean, you get another step and a dunk on the foul. It's like foul, step, dunk, and it's like count the bucket.
I hate continuation in the NBA. Hated it all my life in the NBA. And
NBA, you can dribble, take another step.
The NBA, if you're across midcourt, you get to go to the basket.
That's a tough loss, but a great win depending on which side of the coin you're on there. That's basketball last night. We get Alabama Vandy tonight. We'll talk more about that coming up later on.
Those teams will only get better. Both teams last night.
Think so?
Yeah.
Auburn's got to get better on defense, and we talk about this a lot, like with Pete Golding. Like, does their defense suffer because he's the head coach? And you've got to ask that. I mean, Stephen was the defensive coordinator for Auburn basketball. He's now the head coach, and has the defense suffered because of that? Or is it just this roster?
Well, I mean, Tahad, his last 7 games, he's got a 30-point game, a 20-point game, and a 25-point game. His other games,
not starting, by the way.
3 of 9, 1 of 8, 2 of 7, and 1 of 7.
Yeah.
That is the definition of inconsistency.
Yeah.
He's better off the bench.
And they pointed out he's better on the road than he is at home, which is backwards of the way it usually is for most shooters. And we said it on the air yesterday, LT, or maybe it was Monday. because he didn't start on Saturday at Georgia, didn't start again last night. Maybe he'll start against Arkansas, but you basically have your highest profile player, your highest paid player, who's not doing the things he's supposed to be doing off the court, that has the first-year coach having to sit the star to not make him a starter for 2 games.
Still played 32 minutes.
I know, but you're putting your
you're making a point.
You're putting your first-year head coach into a situation that he's having to make a tough call. That's bad leadership on Tahad's part there.
Yeah, I would agree.
He needs to be leading by example for that team right there.